If you want to understand the Philippine economy, you have to look at the evening rush. Every single day, thousands of working-class Filipinos stand in endless lines at the MRT stations, jeepney terminals, and UV Express stands. It is an exhausting baseline reality where hours evaporate just waiting for a ride home. That massive daily wait isn't a mild inconvenience. It is a direct economic drain. When a standard 9-to-5 job requires 4 extra hours of standing in line, the clock eats the wallet. That is time recovered that could have been spent working a side hustle, generating extra income, or actually resting. The toll extends to family logistics and personal safety. Without a private vehicle, coordinating school drop-offs or bringing a spouse to work becomes a logistical nightmare. And waiting at unlit transit stands late at night significantly increases the risk of theft and harassment. For decades, the culture has simply accepted this. There's an unspoken expectation that the working class should just endure extreme physical exhaustion and lost hours as the normal price of holding down a steady job. It creates a systemic trap where you are perpetually pressed for time. In the modern Philippines, mobility is money. A reliable vehicle functions as a recovery tool for lost hours, providing the safety and flexibility required to protect a family's income and maintain a productive schedule. The problem has always been the barrier to entry. For years, the legacy automotive market, the older dinosaur companies, kept prices artificially high. A brand new vehicle was mathematically out of reach for a massive portion of the population. Because new cars were too expensive, desperate buyers were pushed into the secondary market. This meant navigating predatory used car lots, often run by sellers eager to offload problem vehicles to innocent buyers who had no idea what they were actually getting into. Relying on those outdated used cars carries dire financial consequences. They lack modern safety features, they break down frequently, and every time the car ends up in an unreliable repair shop, the owner faces costly downtime, meaning they are thrown right back into the public transit lines, losing money because they can't get to work. Meanwhile, the legacy auto monopolies maintain this status quo with zero pressure to improve. Because buyers had nowhere else to go, these older brands could comfortably offer minimal 3-year warranties and keep their prices high. A stagnant, uncompetitive auto market actively harms consumers. When a few companies control the options, the working class is left stranded in an impossible position. Choose between the grueling daily transit commute or sign a terrible loan on an unreliable used car. This chart tracks automotive sales. Notice the sudden jump here in Q1 2024. The market saw a 12.7% spike in units sold compared to the previous year. That is undeniable data showing a massive shift in consumer behavior. People are suddenly buying cars. The catalyst for this sudden expansion was a direct hit to the legacy pricing model. A wave of Chinese car manufacturers aggressively entered the country, establishing a completely new, much lower pricing floor. These new entrants have a severe structural advantage. Over the last decade, they built lean manufacturing facilities from scratch and integrated advanced technology acquired from defunct Western brands. More importantly, they don't carry the massive payroll overhead of paying pensions to retired employees like older companies do. Their baseline costs are remarkably low. They weaponized that low cost to force a value per peso reset. By offering significantly lower entry pricing on brand new vehicles, they broke the monopoly and forced every other brand to react. For the commuter standing at the jeepney terminal, this corporate data point changes their life. The pricing disruption means a reliable, brand new car with 0 miles on the odometer is suddenly a financially viable option for the working class. This competition reached the standard feature list. Features like adaptive headlights, automated safety braking, and leather interiors, technologies that previously required a luxury tier budget, are now standard equipment in the most affordable models. To combat consumer skepticism, they deployed incredibly aggressive warranties. We are talking about 8 to 10-year battery warranties and 5 to 8-year powertrain guarantees. They are putting heavy financial backing behind their engineering. The financing industry had to adapt to this surge in demand. Instead of strict 24-month terms that required massive cash on hand, banks and manufacturers teamed up. They rolled out bundled offers and 72-month terms with low payments, turning an impossible cash purchase into a manageable monthly expense. And the quality gap is closing fast. According to independent consumer insights from J.D. Power, The initial factory quality of Chinese domestic brands has narrowed the gap with international competitors, with some brands ranking highly in global quality studies. Combine a lower base price, premium standard technology, and an extended warranty, and the legacy market's illusion of value shatters. The old rules of what you get for your money simply do not apply anymore. Of course, a lot of cultural skepticism remains, and it is entirely valid. If you looked at early Chinese vehicles 10 years ago, the products were inconsistent, and some buyers got seriously burned by weak support. But we need to redefine what quality actually means in the Philippine market. Factory build quality is only half the equation. True quality is determined by the competence of the after-sales service and the immediate availability of replacement parts. Bad distributorships treat the country like a quick cash grab. They import the cars, but refuse to invest in training or parts. The result is a nightmare for the owner, where replacing a single broken headlight can take 6 months because the part has to be shipped from overseas. The new standard demands serious local infrastructure. The manufacturers winning the market today are the ones legally taking ownership of their distribution. They are maintaining strict 6-month part stockpiles domestically and aggressively expanding rapid repair dealer networks nationwide. A beautiful car missing a part is a terrible investment. You cannot update your way out of bad service. The ultimate test of a vehicle's worth isn't the brochure, it's the reliability and speed of the dealer's service base. So here is the new doctrine for the Filipino car buyer. Do not buy the marketing hype. Ignore the celebrity endorsements on television. Those actors usually drive a rival brand anyway. Buy the support system. Calculate the total cost of ownership. Look past the suggested retail price and factor in the insurance, the maintenance downtime, and the price of replacement tires. There is a massive difference between scraping together enough money to buy a car and actually being able to afford it over 5 years. And drop the blind brand loyalty to legacy companies. Defending a massive corporation that charges you a premium for outdated technology only encourages laziness. It allows them to give you less while making you poorer. Consumer intelligence means evaluating every single brand ruthlessly. It doesn't matter what country the badge comes from. If the company misrepresents their build or fakes their authority, hold them accountable. Compare the value directly. Even if you never step foot in a Chinese car dealership, you benefit from their existence. Aggressive market competition forces the entire industry to compete harder, driving prices down and elevating standard features. Ultimately, it gives the working Filipino the one thing they need most: the power to reclaim their time.